Hi everybody. Here's my thoughts on today's episode of Home and Away, August 20th, which is Thursday. It wasn't super exciting. Justin and Leah are trying not to be gossipy and being in everybody's business. I guess they're trying to convince themselves they're not an old married couple. Boring. Alf's giving them shit, as always. He gives everybody shit. Lacey and Joe are mad at David because he's going back to work and they don't think he's ready. So Cash is kind of keeping an eye on him, but David's like, leave me alone. And of course, David is the Mr. Grumpy Pants, and Cash laughed and he's like, yeah, it's good to have you back. And I think David realized, like, I'm a grump. Cash ended up seeing Lacey and Joe, giving them like a midday check-in on how David's doing. He thinks he's just in his office working. What he doesn't realize is on his desk with all the paperwork is the file about his shooting. So it has the picture of Richie, the Ding Dong Richie, who shot him. It had crime scene photos, so he's seeing like all this blood, and then he sees like the doctor's report of where he was shot on his body. So it kind of like shook him a bit, but it seemed like he was okay after a moment. And then like he left his office. Like he was just like, I can't look at that clearly. So he ends up meeting with this new kid who's checking in, who just got paroled from jail. So he's giving his new address for the, parole, probation. I don't know what it is. I've never been arrested. Anyways, turns out he ends up somehow knowing Maz, this kid. His name is Zane. And turns out Maz has a little pen pal in jail, and this is this kid. So he like gave all the credit to her for making him want to turn his life around and get paroled early. And he was like, oh, I have a confession. I put your address down, and if they find out I'm lying, I'll go back to jail. So she was like, okay, well, there's actually a caravan park that has technically the same address. So she goes to Alf and is like, I need to get a caravan for my friend here. And he's like, how do you guys know each other? And she was like, we're pen pals. And he's like, oh yeah, I just got out of jail. So that's that. David ends up yelling at Lacey and Joe, like, leave me the frick alone. I'm a grown up. You need to like chill out. I'm okay. So that's about all it was. Oh, and then Joe was gossiping to Leah about Levi. Like, she works in healthcare. I'm sure there are privacy laws in Australia as there are here in America. Shut up, Joe. I cannot stand that girl. I wish her and Grody Bowe would go off into the sunset. Anyways, wasn't super exciting episode today, so